Hey guys, I've got a Digimon deck video for today, and this is on the new Blue Flare deck from set 10. It was probably my favorite deck from this set. We'll just go over it. Of course, for the eggs, we're going to be running 4 Babytomon. This has the inheritable when attacking. Once per turn, if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, draw 1 card. Pretty nice. And the 5th egg is Upamon. When attacking, once per turn, if your opponent has a Digimon with no Digivolution cards in play, draw 1 card instead. Draw 1 card. Guess let's go up to the level 3s. We've got Gaussmon. He has the effect on deletion. You may play 1 level 4 Digimon card with Blue Flare and its traits from your hand, suspended without paying its play cost, which is pretty nice. All your level 4s have pretty amazing on play effects. Next up, we've got 3 of Snow Agumon. It has the on play, trash the top Digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon. Pretty good. Your main attacker wants your opponent's Digimon to have no materials, so he helps get to that. Madoki Betamon. All turns, your opponent can't gain memory except with tamer effects. Arguably, we'd want to play more of this, but I've only got 2. We've also got Sayakomon. This has the opponent's turn effect. Your opponent can't reduce Digivolution costs, which is pretty nice. Both of them kind of acting as counters to certain decks. Next up, we've got Greymon. This is a new Greymon. It has the on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 2 cards with Blue Flare and their traits among them to your hand, and then place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. Or, if you have a Kiriha in play, you may return 1 Metal Greymon from your trash to your hand instead, and then on deletion, save, you may place this card under one of your tamers. And then it's inheritable when attacking once per turn. If this Digimon has Blue Flare in its traits, and your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, unsuspend this Digimon, which is pretty nice. The other component for the main guy that we have is Male Bergermon. It has the on play, if you have a Kiriha, Ioma, or Christopher in play, you may return 1 Metal Greymon from your trash to your hand. If you don't have Kiriha / Christopher in play, you may play him from your hand without paying his play cost instead. Then on deletion, just like the Greymon, it has save. And then his inheritable is when attacking once per turn. If this Digimon has Blue Flare in its traits and your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, one of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that's pretty good. We've got Decker Dramon next on play. Draw 1. Then for each Digimon your opponent has in play, draw an extra card. Nice. On deletion, he also has save. And then his inheritable, all turns, when your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, this Digimon gains 1000 DP. Pretty nice. And then next up, we have 2 of the starter deck 1 Greymons. I bet you're probably wondering why he's here in a blue deck. However, that is because the main card of the deck, Metal Greymon here, can let you use any Greymon. Doesn't have to be the blue one, which is nice. And this Greymon has the inheritable Security Attack +1. Amazing card. Hopefully it gets an en masse reprint soon. And of course, now that we're here, we'll talk about the main boss of the deck. Yes, it's a level 5. This is Metal Greymon. It has material save 2, so it can save 2 of its materials. Those being, of course, the Greymon and Male Bergermon. So it has Digicross 2, Greymon, and Male Bergermon. If you use those 2 to create this, you reduce its play cost by 4. And then on play, this Digimon gains Rush for the turn. Then if you Digicrossed 3 of your opponent's Digimon with Digivolution cards less or equal to this guy, His Digivolution cards can't attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you've kind of figured out the entire game plan of this deck is to stun your opponent to make sure their cards can't attack, and you can keep attacking all you want, which is pretty cool. So that's it for Metal Greymon. The kind of alternate boss of the deck is this Decker Greymon. It has the on play and digivolving, so its play cost is 9. Its digivolution cost has 2. On a level 5, it can digivolve for 2, or on a 4 for 4. On play / when digivolving, you may place one Digimon card with blue flare in its traits from your hand under one of your tamers from your hand or from under one of your tamers under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. Then if Decker Greymon is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. Digicross 2, Metal Greymon, and Decker Greymon. So you can reduce its cost by 4 if you use all of them. Next up is the Tamer, Christopher / Kiria. Reason why I'm using both is because there's kind of a mistake in one of the cards where it asks for his English name. However, the Digimon TCG kind of gave up on using English names for this set, as I believe Digimon Fusion is owned by someone else in English, so they unfortunately can't use the English names, so they gotta use the Japanese names. However, one of the cards, they didn't fix it in time, so it still uses the English name, unfortunately. Anyway, start of your turn. If you have 2 or less memory, set your memory to 3. Your turn, when you would play one Digimon with Digicross requirements. By suspending this Tamer, you may place cards from under your Tamers as Digivolution cards for a Digicross, which is pretty nice. And then security, you may play this without paying its memory cost. Nice. Next up, we got another Tamer. This is Sora and Joe. It has the start of your turn. If your opponent has a Digimon with no Digivolution cards in play, gain 2 memory. Your turn, when you attack with a blue Digimon, you may suspend this Tamer to trash up to 2 Digivolution cards from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. And then it has the same security as Christopher. Next up, we've got Ice Wall, an amazing blue card. Main, all of your opponent's Digimon gain when attacking lose 2 memory until the end of the turn, and then its security effect gain 2 memory. It is limited at 1 for a reason. We've got Forbidden Trident. Main, one of your Digimon gets 2 KDP for the turn, and when attacking, return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hand. Trash all Digivolution cards of that Digimon for the turn. And then its security, add this card to its owner's hand. This is here for some pesky level 3 Digimon that some decks like to use. Next up, we've got this option, Innocence Blizzard. Main, trash the bottom Digivolution cards of all of your opponent's Digimon, then up to 3 of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards can't attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn, and then its security effect is its main effect. Next up is Rattlestar. Return one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon to its owner's hand. If your opponent has 3 or more Digimon in play, return one of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of its owner's deck instead. Trash all Digivolution cards under that Digimon. Then its security is activate this main effect. The next option is Plasma Decker Drill Launcher. When you would use this card, if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, reduce the memory cost by 2. Main, return one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon to its owner's hand. And then security, return one of your opponent's Digimon to its owner's hand. Pretty nice. Next up, we've got some memory boosts. This is Howling Memory Boost. Main, trash up to 2 Digivolution cards from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards can't attack or block till the end of your opponent's next turn. Then place this in your battle area. Main, delay. You gain 2 memory. Trash this card in your battle area to activate this effect below. You can't activate this effect the turn you play this card. And then arguably the best card in the deck, we've got Blazing Memory Boost. Main, reveal the top 6 cards of your deck. Add 2 cards with blue flare and their traits among them to your hand, and then you may play Christopher or Roma / Kiria among them without paying its memory cost. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Then place this card in your battle area. It has the same delay as Howling Memory Boost. Quick note about this. If you only reveal Kiriha / Christopher and one blue flare, you unfortunately have to add the Kiriha to your hand, and you don't get to play it directly. So, like, for example, out of the 6, you only got these 2 as the blue flare. You'd unfortunately have to add the Kiriha to your hand instead of playing it. However, if you do get 3 or more blue flares, you may play the Kiriha to your field. Just a little note there. I fortunately managed to play Kiriha off of this every time, so that's good at least. And that is that for my blue flare deck. Definitely my favorite from set 10, and I believe for 11 it is getting more cards. So I do look forward to that, and I might have a few more Digimon videos planned, so... And definitely a lot more videos, especially for Card Fight Vanguard Dear Days and the new Pokemon games coming out. So look forward to those. I hope you enjoyed this video.